Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Clown-versation. It's so good to have you here with me today. I am your host, Barnaby King, founder of Clown Spirit. And today I'm going to be talking to the wonderful, the beautiful, the inspirational Mr. Patrick van den Boom. Don't go away. It's just a conversation with a fellow clown. It's not very serious. We're clowning around. It's really just a clown-versation. All right, folks, I am ready to go. I'm having my own party here, which is great because Patrick is in the house, and Patrick is going to talk about parties and having your own clown party and lots more cool things besides that. But first, let me just let you know that we have a couple of places left on the masterclass coming up this Saturday, tomorrow, with the amazing Sky DeSella. There are places. It's called Momentum. It's going to be fantastic. You can join for $49. Go to clown-spirit.com to find out more. It will be wonderful to see you there. Every single month, we have masterclasses with incredible people like Patrick van den Boom, for example, who did one last year and no doubt will do more. And we have recordings of masterclasses by people from Avner the Eccentric to Moshe Cohen to Hilary Chaplin. And in July, we have a fantastic masterclass coming up with Mookie Cornish, which is going to be sensational. So join the village, folks. Find out what it's all about. Now, my guest today is a special individual in the world of clown. You know, he is kind of like an inspiration to me, maybe because we're of a similar kind of generation and we are both so passionate and committed to clowning and in just doing everything we can to bring it out more into the world. He's been exceptionally busy lately, so I'm super grateful to have him on the show for the second time. Please give it up for Mr. Patrick van den Boom. Woo! 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 Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome.
Hello.
Are we centered? Are we centered in our? Hang on. No, wait. Patrick, I wish I could actually turn around here and give you a hug because have we ever met in person? I don't think we have.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Isn't that crazy?
It is. Yeah.
I feel like I know you so well.
Let's organize that.
Yes, let's organize that today. And everyone listening, willing to host the Patrick and Barnaby joint workshop? That would be cool.
That would be very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Patrick, I want to say thank you so much before we get started. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me again.
You're just back from a 2-week tour. Tell us about that. How did it go?
Yeah, so I was in Italy. I have a clown retreat in the bottom of the Boots in Italy and near Bari, and it's a really great place in La Luna di Pusa. It's like the shadow in the well, and actually it's not possible to have the shadow in the well. So, but this place is really like a paradise for actors and for clowns, and so the people owning it, they made it especially for actors, but also clowns. And so to work there, like for people as us, is like, is it possible? Like a garden, an amphitheater, a garden where you can work with the senses, and a labyrinth. And so I had a group with people from all over Europe, and we just had a really, really amazing time. And really diving in the art of clowning. And it was really like mind blowing. I remember at the last day of the week, I was saying like, sorry, but I maybe didn't have serious conversation with you, or because I was so not in my head. So it was really the work, the art really kind of really like literally blow away my mind. So I was talking, but it was so like so free and so like during the week, I think I invented about 10, 15 new exercises. So I over prepare when I teach, but was really like I don't know.
Just inventing, just creating. Very
Yeah,
thing.
it just comes like it's the same like clowning. So I'm happy I'm a clown, and then the teaching is so clownish. It's so like in that spirit, in the clown spirit. It's a good name what you have for your company.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So welcome everybody who's watching from home, and I can see lots of people are jumping into the chat already, which is so awesome. Let's do some quick shout outs here, Patrick. Who do you see there in the chat?
Yeah, I see my great colleague Anna Marta. She's a Norwegian colleague, and I see Ellen, who was in Italy. So hello, Ellen, and Angela Hopkins, who I will see in Germany, and also who was with you. And Mikey, who was supposed to come to Italy, but then he didn't come. Yeah, so wow, it's people I know and people you know probably.
And the singing clown in Richmond, Virginia. The singing. Wait.
Oh, this one I have to meet.
Yeah, singing is like the voice, and singing is a really important part of your teaching and your technique. What is it for you that's so connected and sort of clownish about the voice and singing?
Well, for me, singing is like, I mean, it is really the first way to meet. So actually, we should sing, Barnaby. Let's sing about what you're gonna say. What was your question again? Could you repeat it to me?
My question, Mr. Patrick.
Yes.
What is the power of singing?
Power of singing. Well, that's very interesting question. That's a very interesting question. So the question was, what's the power? And the power is in many things. For example, it's not in your head, it is in your body, and it is with the voice. It's the voice who we express with.
The voice, the voice.
The voice, the voice, the
the
voice.
voice, the voice, the voice.
The voice, the voice, the
voice.
The voice.
And the possibility of silence.
Very true. Yes, so yeah.
What are we doing, Patrick? What are we doing?
Yeah, well, we don't know what we're doing and we don't care.
I hope you all joined in at home with that. I can see that Paul wrote some put a little musical note thing in the chat. So I'm guessing that he's singing away. We're obviously inspiring people with our beautiful voices.
Yes.
But of course, it's not necessary to have a beautiful voice like ours. Right.
No, exactly. And that's like from the Roy Hart. One of my teachers was very inspired by the Roy Hart method. And I really like that method because it's not about how it sounds, but that it sounds. And not to be busy with the pitch, but just to give it space and to give it room. So if you can talk, you can sing. And I really think so. And I like, even, for example, when you, like, pitch is one thing, holding the rhythm is one thing, being secure or being insecure, you know, that's also the great thing with the clown, where people think maybe, okay, I cannot hold the rhythm, I don't know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, I do 1, 2, 3, 4, or I forget to breathe and I go out of the rhythm, you know, all these kind of things. What can happen when you're not experienced or maybe not trained, or but then again, if you just open your mouth and sing, like when I was at Bobby McFerrin's workshop in USA, like he said, also the breath is the thing we so easily forget, and as when we're singing, we have to include the breath in our singing, so that we hold the rhythm. And then again, he's also a great clown, you know, he's such a playful guy, so not busy with like me, but very much busy with like spreading joy and good energy, and so it's a lot is about going into the body and experiencing the song, and by that having your own party, what he so has, and then it's not about, oh, look at me, or do hear my beautiful, see how many notes I can sing, or how high I can go, or I can shift from.
Yeah.
So it's play, it's joy, and for example, to sing a duet, like one of the, like, imagine you don't really know how to do the rhythm, so I can take care of the beat, and I give you the beat, and then you can go off beat or on beat. It doesn't matter. But when that's a duo, it's already could sound amazing, and like, how, wow, this duo is really trained. But then again, it's just the agreement. I can hold the rhythm, and I can hold pitch, or if you talk about this kind of things and share, then it's like,
This is really super fascinating, and I'm sure that folks at home, if you have questions that you want to ask Patrick, then please just throw them into the chat, and we'll integrate them in. I can see that we've got more people signing on as we speak. Layla from Ulm in Germany. Jeff, hi Jeff Johnson says, Flem, hello, Mentagan, wee. I think he's in gibberish world, which is gibberish. Gibberish is another great thing. Like singing, it similarly kind of gets you out of your head and into your body. And Patrick, I really wish that I could take a workshop with you, and I want to know what it's like in a workshop with you. Could you give us an example, or just describe or talk about what is one of your favorite sort of exercises or games that you like to do in workshops, or maybe one that you did recently that was really
I just want to comment on, I see Alan says, like, singing lets your soul resonate. So I really like that sentence, because it's bigger than just doing something fun or doing something beautiful. But when your soul really resonates, and when that spreads, it's like you can really bring people in another state, and really let them feel alive and playful. And so it's very it really resonates what he was saying. So for me, everything starts with being safe myself, breathing a lot, doing my stuff, so that I get into my body, and like, for example, we could do like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 together, and this is, I'm just seeing this hand, but it's a lot. I can do it just as a game, but when I really see my hand here and breathe, and, for example, sing 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and then do the other hand and see that hand, and really breathe and see my hand and connect with that hand, and then go to my feet, 1 2, shake my feet, and really see that feet, and then do the other feet 8 times, and then go to 7, for example. It's a very simple warming up, but for me, it's all I get to connect with my body, because I can have great artistic ideas, but if my body is kind of on pause, or not awake and not aware, well, then it's hard for me to connect. And so this is like really getting into the body, and really knowing your body and feeling alive. And like when we had the other talk with Olivier, I work a lot with people with dementia, and so by being in that body, and by really showing also that I see my own body, and that I'm aware of my own body, and it's like the state's presence, by spreading, but also seeing and knowing and experiencing, I am in my body. This is who I am, and this is where I find my own joy and pleasure, and by having that established, and being with that, then underneath that, feeling safe and feeling home in myself, like, for example, just leaning towards a tree, and like, not producing, I have to now start doing something, or I have to start developing a play, but really like like starting from scratch. I really love that in clowning, where people dare to really start from zero. And zero is kind of misunderstood sometimes in clowning or in theater, that zero is kind of could also be off stage, but it's like maybe we could call it one, to be on one, and where you're in a simple state of like, okay, I'm here, I'm present, I'm awake, I'm aware, I'm breathing, and I'm waiting. I'm waiting to kind of by already warming up the body and warming up the voice, seeing your own body and breathing, and then something can come to us, and it's like this. It's the same with singing also. We are talking about that also a lot. It's like that then the songs come, and really like, where did that song comes from? Is by just opening up. And that's also what a lot of teachers of mine said. Like, sometimes we are just like satellites, And that's the same for art, for any art form. I think that when we tune in and when we open up our locked parts and when we really have our presence on the whole system.
You talk a lot about safety, Patrick, feeling safe, and so is that to do with so then you mentioned an exercise with connecting with the breath and the body, and is feeling safe to do with just in yourself, or is it to do with how you perceive the space around you and other people in the space? In other words, you when you're holding space as a teacher, yes, you have to give people this sense of they're safe in their body, but how do you also make people feel safe with the group, to feel that they can express and nothing will be judged, or that they will be supported or something? Do you know what I mean? In the group, how do you go about that?
Well, first here, and then of course everybody also, I invite them, and the first day, for example, in Italy, we were almost not social, so I really rediscovered and together with them reinvented the egoist. Yes, great, all this social clowning, and I mean, people do all kind of stuff, so it's not only social clowning, it's a lot of clowning who do theater and performing art, and to really be by themselves and to really like kind of almost block out all, like I say also, don't look, don't go in all this social, like the ice is the dessert of the meeting, but we will get there, we're only in day one. So it's to really back to their own system, to their own, and by supporting that and inviting and kind of really reminding them, be here first. And by that already so much happened really naturally, like that they were home and that they were safe by themselves and not in all this, I have to be social because now it's the start of the week, or now I am in the group, or I'm a clown, so I should be social. But my God, how beautiful. The first day we already had performances in the amphitheater, what is made by these people, like a handmade amphitheater, and so amazing result that they were so free because they were so home with themselves and not being busy with like, now I am working together with another one. They were busy with all they were interested in themselves and really kind of this back to this egoist. And that's really like, oh wow, how fascinating. Because great, my partner is a genius. I really love that expression. And then again, but are you home? Are you with yourself first? I forgot it. Yeah, okay. So and already by that was so clearly that sometimes didn't work because they were not, that they forgot their own party.
I love this. Use Patrick's warm up and connect with your body in Clown Partners game every time before clowning. It works and is so good.
Arendt's, yeah, from Denmark. Hello, hello.
That's very cool. Patrick, I want to just ask you about something that you have on your Facebook profile at the moment, and it's a cool thing. This proud to be clown.
Yeah.
Could you tell us about this? Like, what is it you're trying to promote with this idea of being proud to be a clown?
Yeah, good question. Well, in a way, it says already, proud to be clown, so that's the answer. But that's a bit the stupid answer. But I'm a clown, so
you're allowed to be.
Yeah.
Stupid. It's okay.
So yeah, for me, it's a statement also, and I mean, if you just see all the words gathered around "proud to be clown," this is just it's like sitting down for 10 minutes and seeing all the words what come up, thinking about how proud and how privileged I am to be a clown. And what was the word? We had a little chat before, and we were talking about like it's not to be shy, but it's to be
reserved.
Not to be reserved, because it's like easily be like, okay, yeah, I'm also a clown. I do performing art, and I was also a clown. But to really shout it out, and you know, like see this person really like, yeah, I think it's also can help the art and to help you as an artist to really be proud that this is your art form, that this is something you stand for, and that you can really let other people join and like join. Barnaby is I just have to say, I don't know if I said it in the other time, but I think it's so funny that Barnaby in Norwegian it means children village.
Oh yeah, you did say that. I remember now.
So and I think it's so funny. Like, hey, Barnaby, it's like getting. But I mean, we do art for clowning for children. For children, we do it for adults also. So it's but it's this proudness of I mean, there's so much beauty in the art of clowning, and there's so much. I was small, I was little, yeah. So and I mean that's also is fun because we are like my son. I just have to tell a little story. We once were at a party, and he was I think 5 or 6, and it was a serious party of the sister of my wife, Lina. And we were in this party and we're sitting around the table, and it was, especially for my son, it was very boring to be in that room. So, and then he went around the table and he went to everybody, you are small and big. You are small and big. So he went around and he told everybody in the room, you are still small and big. And especially one woman who was a bit strict and very holding the space, a bit political, and he really got lost, my son. So and then he said like, and you also, you are still small and little, and the whole room shifted. It was so beautiful that he
amazing.
kind of, he reminded people of like, hey, we're small and big. And yeah, of course, this cliche with the clown, is it just going back to your childhood? Yeah, well, it's part of it, but it's I'm happy I'm an adult and that I'm an artist and that I have my experience. But it's so, it can be so good to remember, to realize, and like, wow, we're still small also, you know, we're just to go hand in hand.
I was wondering if we could play our own game with people watching about the proud to be a clown. You know, maybe people could come up with their own words here. What are the first words that come into your minds, to your mind when you think about being proud to be a clown? What are those qualities that you feel are worth shouting from the rooftops when you tell people how wonderful clowning is, or you're expressing your pride? Maybe we can get those into the chat and have those populate the space.
Yeah, let's let the butterfly effect of this proud to be clown. Great. Yeah, I see already joyful and generosity. Generous. Freedom.
Connection.
Yeah, so let's fill up this chat.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Connection, free play, freedom, and get those into the chat, folks. And also, I also want to reflect a little bit on how difficult it is sometimes to be proud to be a clown. I think this is where it touches me, Patrick, and why I'm really happy that you're reminding us about this, because even at the point now where I've made a living and a career out of clowning for like years and years, sometimes I still feel like when I tell certain people I'm a clown, I feel small, or I feel like, oh, I'm a clown. I have that feeling of like being reserved or not wanting to talk about it, or a little embarrassed or something. And so I'm curious about other people's experience in that regard. So if that resonates for anyone and you want to share something, maybe a specific moment or just a general experience, what are the challenges that you encounter internally, right, for yourself? Maybe it's to do with your self-judgment about what, or the cultural kind of connotations of clowning that you still have even as a clown. Do you find that, Patrick, or are you now in the place where you can just be completely proud and open about it all the time?
Almost always, I think. I sometimes forget it, like when I'm like private, because I also really love this to integrate the clown. I say to my wife, it's poor her sometimes, like 99% is unserious, like so like that she's still sometimes doesn't know I'm fooling her, like, or that I'm unserious. It's like, so it must be sometimes very intense to live with me. But this, and also my son, like, hello, 99%. So realize that this 1% I can be serious, and of course I can have serious talks also. But if it's not necessary, I just love to play and find that possibility in as much as possible situations all over, because then I feel so good. I feel so playful and so light. And related to my work with the Klokkeklovnene in Norway is like, so I forgot his name again, but recently there was this talk you had with the duo Canadian
John Turner.
Yeah, John Turner, about like somebody make drawings for children, and some make drawings for adults. Some make art for children, some make art for adults. Some people make children clown for children, and some clown for adults. And as he said, I only clown for adults because it's horror clowning, and so it's the heavy themes. And with the Klokkeklovnene, we only clown for people with dementia, and of course we meet the nurses and everybody around. But for me, like now I do after that talk, so I'm so thankful for that talk. What you're facilitating is fantastic, and to see that like this can be directly used for so many other people. That to say that in your talks when you go out there, like we make art for adults. And since I heard that talk with you, I say that, and now it's quiet in the room, and people like they're yeah, of course, yeah. So it's really I'm so thankful, because it was always like, yeah, I know you sometimes maybe can be skeptic, but I stopped saying that now, because it's like I'm proud. I'm yeah. I don't want to be like holding back anymore, because there's no time to lose. It's like, especially the people I work with most, they might unfortunately not be there anymore the next time. So I want to take a risk. I want a generous risk, with tuned in to their circumstances, to their needs. But it's
Beautiful. Yeah. So people are putting in some great things into the chat here. Going back, Love with no boundaries.
Hmm.
I see you. Lichtheit. What's Lichtheit?
Being light.
Being light. Lightness.
Hmm.
Aware, Paul says. Encounters. Dancing soul, says Mike.
Hmm.
Fun, says Lucy.
Oh, Lucy, she's the master. I really like. I saw like, oh, she's coming, and like, one day it will be great to have a talk if you have a talk with her, because it's like she's like a master clown in her presence. When you did a performance with her on the open podium, like I was just, I just every second I like, oh, what is her next movement with her eye? What is her next movement with her? It's like she's like a enlightened clown. It's like so present and so wow.
I know. She should be teaching. She should be.
Yeah.
Anne Mart says magical impossibilities being possible. Love it. And Paul says embraces vulnerability, connection. Lucy, I'm here. You are here, says Cheryl. And being alive, says the singing clown. Singing clown. I don't know who you are, but I love you. Singing clown.
Yeah, it'd be nice to know who she is. It a she or he?
I don't know. I can't tell.
No. Hope to sing.
Patrick, speaking of the open podium, is that still alive?
Yes, it's alive, but we see it works most in the winter times, because people want to go out in the theaters and festivals. So we will pick it up again, Luciana and me, and for sure, because it's such a fun event and heartwarming to connect with people from all over the world. So for sure, a big taste of more of that. Yeah.
There's
what I want to say is also you had this talk with Vigo, and it's my colleague here in Norway, and it's so interesting. Like talking about proud to be clown. He's a beautiful example. He could just say I'm a comedian, or I'm a performing artist, but to say that already on the BBC, on British Got Talent, I'm proud to be clown, or I mean, he's not hiding it. It's really, and I really call that like a bit like a Vigo effect also here in Norway, but also in Britain, and I think he's now all over the world going around, and it's just, I'm so proud also to have him as a colleague. And I mean, I don't know how often he will be back in the hospital, but I mean, now he's taking all the big stages in all around, but this effect and this beautifulness of the clown, I think he really addressed the modern clown, where just showing up, okay, people say just taking up the vest, but he's doing so much more than that. His presence and his proudness and his like, he's so alive and so like daring to just stand there and see what is the next move, like as you analyzed it all, and that you could see like he didn't prepare the next act. It all unfolded because he didn't think he would go through to the next round. And then so it's like a bit like this small child, like, oh, I go for it, and oh, I'm happy, and oh, I'm gonna do another round.
Whoa, yeah. Whoa, what am I gonna do now?
yeah. Very, very like ready for the next move, but also kind of like in the waiting modus, and seeing what's the next page, or maybe sometimes flirting with the next page, but also we cannot know what the next day already is. So it's, or what the next moment is. We can, if we grasp it, we will, we might produce. But I think it's so beautiful to really find some peace, like a calm lake, like a water lily or something, like just, so see how the day arises, how, instead of like, oh, now I have to push. Like we're in a group in Norway, we call it the Striped Clowns, and we are we did like 6, 7, 8 evenings in a theater in Norway, where we didn't have almost no plan. Really, like one of the most scary things I ever done with the great colleagues. And so we went for it, and we know each other, and we felt safe. But still, it's like, how is this gonna? What's gonna happen? How is this gonna unfold? And so the first evening, I think we did Romeo and Juliet. So that we knew, and for the rest, we knew we will enter the stage and we will end with a song. So no plan, and how beautiful and how brave we felt, and how lost sometimes we felt on stage, and how important it is to, for example, give each other space and or hold back. So it's all this technique part what worked for us, but also sometimes against us. And then we did some funding, and we're gonna work on the production. We got like a fund to work on the act, and we're gonna do some performances after summer. So it's really nice that to go back on stage, because I did a lot of performing on the stage and on the street. But so now this Striped Clowns also is a great group, and we're gonna together find out how to have that party, and to maybe clarify a bit characters, but also we want to keep it very open, because we love that openness of, like, in a way, in hospital clowning we say, like, open the door and see what happens. And that's, that's our art. That is daring, and but also, I don't know, I feel so alive when I don't know what is going to happen, and that we do dare that together, when you have that safety with your friends and colleagues. And then really, now in the studio we're really pushing each other to the edge sometimes, and it's so delicious to go a bit dark, and to, instead of all this nice social clowning what we do in the hospital clowns, or where we can, but this is where we can really I don't know if we're going to cut off each other's head, but it's interesting how with the status, and really dare to go dark, and to mix a bit the personal stuff also, because it's nice when it becomes private also. I love that when it's that mix, that underneath, like, we're friends, but on the surface it's like, wow.
Where are you going to be performing in the next 6 months or a year? Can people come see it?
Yeah, it will be in Norway in some festivals. I don't know exactly the names, but I can share that later on maybe. But so first we're gonna do some practice, and so it's very low key in this. But we are also ambitious, because we think, like, we're all good clowns, and so it's
maybe international. Do you think you'll go to other countries?
Yeah, well, I'm in for it. I hope the rest is in for it also. So. It's I think I really see it, because it's also, we're thinking it's also that it doesn't have to be too much language. So
right.
So then it works international, and because it's very open, so then we can easily switch to English, I think. And
Patrick, what about the your clowning for people with dementia? We haven't talked about that this time around, but I'm curious, is that something that's just like ongoing, that you're always committed to and doing? But how's that going? Have there been any new developments or awarenesses?
Well, yeah, it's a very ongoing process, because like, after Italy I went to Holland, teaching that also for colleagues in Holland, old colleagues, because I'm from the Netherlands. So it was very nice. And then I went to Bergen, and I gave some talks, and we were part of a parade of, like, activism for elderly people. So there's a lot going on here in Norway. We also have a person in our board who has dementia. He's younger than me even. I'm 52. He's 50, and we, like, for example, this awareness of not talking about, but with people with dementia. For me, that's like, yeah, it's a bit metaphoric if you think about mind blowing, but it's really so important to, it feels very important to talk with persons who have dementia and to check, like, for example, when we shared a post about clowning and it went a bit how to say, like, all over Norway. And some people were a bit negative, like, is this, I don't want to have a clown on my bed for my father, blah blah blah. And then we let him, this guy, Jan Runnar, we let him write a comment, and I see your cup, and it's great. And people can buy it also, right? People can buy the cup. Yeah.
No, this one is exclusive to me. The King Barnaby cup. We have clown spirit cups people can buy.
Yeah, so everybody can get their own king then by.
I'm sure that's possible. It's just because it's my name. It was
of course.
A silly joke.
Yeah. So, but talking with people and also this king, the 5-star treatment. What I kind of invented a bit with the Olivier is also really like opening up a lot of possibilities, because it's so respectful to really treat people with dementia as a king and queen, and also to really have strong relationship with the butler, because the butler knows the king and the queen best. And so this is something I'm everywhere sharing as big as possible, because it's it's so easily like coming there and wanting to entertain, but then who is the star? Very easily the clowns maybe becomes the stars, and I think it's so great that they become the star, and that they help us. So I really love this expression, who is helping who, and I think it's very often them helping us. And I had a beautiful experience with a famous actress in Norway who really gave me a masterclass. So my colleague, he was starting up. Well, I came in the room and I went and I did some piano, and I don't know any accord, so I was playing, and it was really ugly. And then I was already looking at my colleague. Help me! You're a great musician. He plays 50. Is idiot. He's genius idiot. He plays about 15 instruments, and he's very good in piano. So, but he let me stand in it for at least it felt 10 minutes, but I think it was really 10 minutes. And everybody in the room like, and they were like looking at me like, how could you come in this room and play this horrible piano, and I don't know. And then this woman, she especially this famous actress, who she was also looking really like dark to me, and really like, bad music. And then my colleague, very slowly after a while, he went to the piano and he played this beautiful accord and another one, and like genius. And then he was even more praised, like, oh, how great you are. And then, oh, and you did it so bad. So really like milking out the problem, and especially this woman, she was feeding him with and praising him, and I was going down and becoming smaller, and inside me enjoying the game, but as a clown I was dying. And then at a certain point she said, but just before we left, this was so interesting, because you stayed in the problem, and you stayed in the problem, and you stayed in the problem, and this is art. This is art. And so she was really fine-tuning me and really giving me some last details of, if you would have done that, then and it was really like touching. I left the room really like I got into tears, because it's like. Yeah, she helped me, and she helped me because I love the art, and I love meeting them and making them feel amazing. And then again, it's great. I love that, but it's also great to be seen as a clown, and to be seen in your art, that like with really somebody who really has the eyes for it, and she really has the eyes for what was needed, and to do some fine tuning. It's like, wow, this is this happening.
That's so beautiful. What a beautiful story. I love that. There's a question here, Patrick, from says, any new awarenesses about dementia through the board member who you mentioned earlier? Something which has made you do something differently as a clown when in nursing homes?
Just what I shared is like to really, for each group or for each situation, check, is it your idea, or is it really resonating to a person with dementia? And also, really be aware of the age. Like he's a young guy, I think it mostly is that, like this really being aware of like treating people. Yeah, well, I think I've been aware for that for a long time. Like, for example, we don't sing children's songs, or we sing songs what is fitting their age. So it's a easily calculation if you when they are 80 and we go back to the age where they felt like, wow. I think we spoke about it with Oliver also. It's like when people are in their 20s, then they feel like so good and alive, and like, oh, this is the time where so then that's the 60s now. So we shouldn't sing maybe the old songs anymore. Maybe they feel like, oh, it's nice and cozy. But when a meeting happens where people really feel alive and really like, oh, I feel good, I feel like a star, I feel like like Frank Sinatra, or I feel like Elvis, or I feel like Paul McCartney, like when that happens, or Bruce Springsteen, or all these artists, that's the age I think we have to tune in and change our repertoire, because it's nice when they sit like that, but are they able to really come with a clear wish of like, thank you, but actually this is my grandfather who liked that music, so are they able to say that? Or very often they become polite and say, okay, that was nice, thank you.
Interesting. I've noticed that in general is something I've been noticing recently in the world, how we're all very good at being polite and not saying what we're really thinking, because and it's partly because we want to keep everything smooth and easy, like that there's something about this collective agreement to maintain calmness and everyone feeling okay about themselves, and so we don't sort of necessarily say the truth about what's happening if it like rocks the boat or something like that. So I can see that when what you're saying is that we should expect people to not tell us if we're doing the wrong thing. If we're singing the wrong song, they won't tell us necessarily that we're singing the wrong song. So we have to be able to find out for ourselves somehow, or be aware what potentially that we're singing the wrong song.
Yeah, and sing the wrong song also, because it's like, again, what we started with the singing, like in Italy, I found out an exercise I think is really fun. We did like, so give me just say a word to me.
Cheese.
Another word.
Apples.
Give me a sentence.
The chimney is smoking.
So what we were playing with is like one give a word, and then we did a sentence, and then that there is the melody, that there is the verbs, that there's the syllables, there's a lot what is material to play with. And again, yes, we can have a conversation, and yes, we can singing, having a conversation. But what if the language is gone? That's not only for people with dementia, people living with dementia, but it's also like refugees. That's your expertise also, right? To travel, and that you don't have a language. So then again, how beautiful the power of singing is, where you respond on the melody, where you respond on the letters, where you respond on the taste. I mean, we just did it one day, but it was so mind-blowing cool. And then also to do a mix, like so what was the sentence again?
The chimney is smoking.
Yeah, so then you can also play with chimney, 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 smoking, 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 smoking. So and then like one, and then you can go in duo and loop it, and all this kind of stuff is like we were so high on it, and every duo it sounded like, did they practice this, or did they work on it and they just like a half day, playing with this,
right,
building it up together, and wow, it was really so artistically cool, and really like a lot of songs you can just take into a pop song, or take it into jazz, or like a Schlager, or like so it was like, wow, yeah, where's this mix of cognitive, some people we need to meet with the brain, some people we only meet because we go intellectual, or some people maybe there. That's actually also something I found out recently, like when people are very in the brain, it's like to let that, to say yes to that also, because let them speak out their brain, their mental stuff. If it's like thoughts, or instead of like hiding, or like because we as teachers, we see when people go off and on stage, right, so that they kind of go in their mind or think over what they should do. And for the clown, it's so fascinating to integrate that, and to like I really like the expression of like, do the after talk in the clown, right? Instead of like, oh, why did you do that at the end? I mean, we're always maybe wrong, or it's hard to find out how it really went. But I think it's so cool to use all the material right there in the moment, when you are enjoying or not enjoying, so that it's like playful, and but also really the confusion, like, what are you doing, were we not here? I thought we were here, I thought you were here, what do you do? So it's like, and then it's like nothing is kind of excluded, so we can use everything. And I think that's like for me, that's like freedom, that you can that nothing is excluded, or nothing is like yeah.
Beautiful. Patrick, something just to go back a little ways to what you were saying about the board member with dementia, and what you learned. The thing that resonated for me about that was when you said that he was younger than you. And that really made me think about how limited, how this can happen to any of us at any time, and how sort of that this brings like an immediacy to life, and to the experience we're having. Like, oh, anything could change tomorrow, and it links for me, to what you said earlier about we have this limited amount of time, and what are we going to do with that time? How are we going to channel our energy? So that is the gift for me. I'm thinking, got to focus, right, and do the thing right now, because this could happen tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's even, like you even have like children dementia now, and so it's it's there, and there's ways, there's ways to live. Like he brought out that because of all his activities. So he's part of a dementia choir, what is a big hit in Norway on the television, and because of he's doing all these things he like, or I don't think he was a singer before, but he's now performing. He even brought out his own single. It's a cover, but so he's performing and he's doing theater, and now his dementia is kind of stabilized a bit. So it's like it's not like increasing.
Wow, that's really super interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, music. There's so much research on music, and we know that the power of music brings us. It's another part of the brain what is not sick. So he's singing a lot, and he's doing things he really likes a lot. So that's by itself is established, is giving him not only meeting a lot of people and enjoying life and not being excluded and being by himself, but it's also really it's I don't know if it's like healing in the sense of stopping it, but it really has a big positive effect on him right now. And so he's just very happy with it. And now he's also part of this clown family here in Norway, and where we really like that he's in the board, and it's a bit controversial maybe to have a person with dementia in the board, but we think he's a smart guy, and we're very happy. So
Perfect. Andren, this is maybe a good note to finish on. Andren says, "Be proud to be a clown now. Time is limited for all of us, so live." Hey, Patrick, we have a couple of minutes left. Should we sing to finish?
Yeah, will be great. And what I also would like to say is that because of the singing and because of actually in Norway there's the Norwegian kroner is not doing so well. So if people want to come to Norway, also it's more easily now. So
wow, that's good to know. So go to Norway. Do it. When's your next workshop, Patrick?
Well, there's the next one is in Holland actually, and then also in Germany with Angela, and so she says November in Schleswig. No, it's not planned yet, but it's planned in my heart already. So, but yeah, singing. So, shall I give you a sentence?
Yeah, do.
I did.
I did. I did. I did. I did. I did. Dee, 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 dee. I did. I did. I did. Dee, 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 dee. Dee, 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 dee. Dee. Dee, dee, dee. Dee, dee, dee. Dee. Dee.
I think. Yes, power of singing and fun and play.
Patrick, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a big hug for you. There you are, Patrick. All right. That was awesome. Thank you so much. I love it. I feel like all my conversations should be that playful. Maybe that has inspired me to do that, because I mean, they're all wonderful, but some of them are more serious and some of them are more playful, and I love those ones. Hopefully you all joined in with us at home, with the playing, with the singing, with the fun. Thank you so much for all the chat and the conversation in the chat. It was so cool to have you all there. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of who I have next week, but my mind has gone blank because I want to let you know. Oh yes, Peter Sweet. Awesome Peter Sweet, based in Berlin. He's a very cool clown, and he's going to be on next week on Clown-versations. And you guys, we're getting so close to 100. I think this was like 98, 97 or 98, this one I just did with Patrick. So we're getting really close. We're going to hit 100 before the end of this season, the 3rd season. I'm hoping to speak to Larry Pisoni as well in the next few weeks. So stay tuned. And don't forget, be proud to be a clown till the very end. See you next time, everyone. Bye.